Hello, my friends, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Uh, I did an interview with a very interesting lady I met through a mutual friend, Michelle Whaling, and we have a talk today, and I'm recording it, and I want to share that with you. I'm apologize for the bad quality, but I have a terrible cold and breathing very heavily sometimes. I hope you will stand that and enjoy the video. She's a really lovely lady.
I
Bye.
want to welcome my friend from surroundings of Stockholm. I don't think you live
Yeah.
in.
No, not in the city of
Uh,
Stockholm.
yeah, my friend Sanna, that I met through a mutual friend, Michelle Whalen, I think it was. We met through some time back. We have been talking on and off, more off than on, but we have had some contact. And I want to welcome you to my YouTube page. And
Thank you.
I would like for you to explain a little bit about your work, what you're working with, and what type of work you're doing in the area of spirituality. So,
Yeah.
so
First,
when it started, yeah,
yeah. First, I wanna, of course, it's nice to be here, and thank you for having me.
you're so
Um,
welcome.
and it's always nice to, talk to your friends
Yes,
whenever you do it.
yeah,
What I'm doing is, yeah, well, how should I start? I do a lot of things, but for my occupation or my services or the passion of helping the world and just being of service and giving people hope and inspiration, that is my main goal
yes,
in everything I do, basically.
yeah,
With myself and just working with my inner self and just to be the best person I can be, authentic, and always, whatever comes through, the challenges, things that are facing you, life lessons, different things that comes up. It's always a learning lesson, and that is something that I integrate in my work.
yes,
Like the wounded healer, they call it.
yeah,
The wounded healer knows how to heal someone else if you've been there yourself. So,
exactly,
so it's a little like the short version of and you're growing so much by helping others.
yeah,
So the short version is just I'm helping people with my senses, intuitive coaching, holistic life coaching, but also I'm doing soul singing, helping people with that. It's like a frequency that comes out when I'm singing, so it's like toning, light language, but I'm singing, so it comes naturally for me, and I'm singing from my heart and from my soul, so it's basically healing people with a frequency in my voice.
yeah,
um, I'm combining that with just consultation and doing other things as well, group healings. I'm very fond of that, doing different circles.
yeah.
And my vision is to expand more globally and just work with people as yourself.
Yeah, and I think many people are going to be interested in what you're doing through this video we're making here. I want to clarify something also about, we have this name of light workers, and it sounds like we are out fixing street lamps in the evening, but that's not the way we work at all. And we all, what it is for me is that we hold in the energy and put it out where it needed to be. And light workers do it in many different ways. You say you have this singing that are healing, just like star languages and all that can have a healing effect on people. I do it differently. Many do it totally differently. And some people heal with their hands, and all of the light workers have some common issues, if we say like that, because we have problem to set boundaries for ourselves sometimes. If we not learn that from the beginning, and we also have some problem to say no to people, and that's because our soul is so into helping, to assist, and we want to bring everybody with us in the ascension we're going through now.
But that is something that is very important to also take in consideration when you are empathic
Yeah.
and have emotional. You're using your emotional senses in your work, like
Yeah.
you're doing, like I'm doing. I'm putting my, like I'm saying, I'm calling it my inner and my outer senses.
Yes.
It's basically I'm using my clairvoyant, my clairsentience, my knowing, my like my higher self intuition, just directly. I have this directly knowing of what comes through, and I'm trusting that whatever comes through is what I'm supposed to know at that precise moment.
Yes.
And also the empathic situation where you feel the sensitivity when you're feeling different people's emotions and just the whole picture, you're bringing in everything and combining that and like designing your work in that particular pattern and blueprint that you are supposed to have. And that is part of our mission. And as you're describing so beautifully, the light worker, as we all are on earth, of course, because we chose to come here in this moment in time of these wonderful changes, but also challenges comes up in a more direct way. So being a light worker and feeling the senses and emotions from others and the environment, doing energy work, it's basically to put it in a simple way. Everywhere you go, you are doing something. By just being and shining your light and shining your truth, you are actually helping people just by being in a certain surrounding. And when you are your highest truth and you're coming from the heart, you are shining out your, you can say the love light or your aura or your glow. You know, and some people say, oh, you're glowing. That's because, you know, when someone's smiling and it so much to that a smile can bring so much more to other people. And that is basically the small thing, but there's so much that we can't see that affect us as well, like the energies and the frequencies in the air so that's why when we in going somewhere, we just feel called or guided or feel drawn to a certain place. That's because it can be good for us or important for us to be there.
And for me also, it's important to try to make people understand that every meeting you have with someone else living energy, if it's a dog, cat, a person, child, whatever it is, or a tree, there's a direct overflowing of energy between you. So when you're standing in a queue waiting for pay for your food in a supermarket, if you smile to the cashier, it's overflowing in energy, and it's so easy. You don't need to make it so difficult or hard. It's so easy. Just smile and send love with your heart. If you do that with honesty, it's just going to work. That is the way it's meant to be.
And just feel the blessings of every day and the small things and the gratitude that, you know, just having a roof over your head and food on the table and a family that, you know, family around. Some people don't have their family around and so on, but also the thing with how it is right now. I mean, like last year, I mean, so much has happened the last couple of years, as we all know. But last year, we actually all woke up inside ourselves, in our bodies. But now it's time for humanity and the collective to wake up. So we're waking up in different moments in our lives.
And the importance for us is to bring as many as possible to this transition to a higher reality, a higher frequency now. And that's a thing I focus on very much, because it's not for the individual anymore, it's for the collective that is important. So absolutely.
And also we're doing so much even when we're dreaming, you know, lucid dreaming, and we're working. I mean, I know that I'm working in different multidimensional, just collapsing different timelines for myself, working on karma, working on others, taking big groups,
Yes.
waking them up. So you're doing, even in the waking state and in sleep state, you're working, even maybe you're working in similar ways, but you are, you can wake up and be totally exhausted or just like sleep for 12 hours.
Yes.
Or it's very hard to sleep because there's so much going on, so much activity. So it's just to keep the center and keep that focus inside, the grounding focus, and just have that stream of light coming through, and just trusting that whatever comes during for myself, it's like whatever comes through during the night, I'm thinking about it and integrating it in my everyday life, and that usually brings in so much more information, like downloads and just new knowing that I put in my daily life and in my service. Because it goes hand in hand with it's important, and it's nice to also be up to date, and when you have opened, I think you've said it once, like open your box, your not the Pandora box, but your comfort zone box. It's just you don't want to close it again. You don't want to close your book of life once you've opened it, because there's so
and it's
much.
not possible to close it, even if we wanted to. We can close. We can close the energy field flowing, and sometimes that's good for us because we are a third dimension body. So it's not good for us to go open all the time, because it can overflow us in this density. And there are techniques to do this that works really good. And if people are interested in to learn that technique, that feel sometimes that they have a lot of feelings that are not belonging to them, just send me a message and I will tell you how you can do this. It's easy, and it's good to have that technique also. And you're absolutely right that all of what we do in the nights, in our dreams, I have to say I do most of my work in my dreams and in my meditation, and then I use the day to put it together to be, for me, understandable, and for others also to understand what I'm talking about. Because when you dream, you're dreaming images, feelings, and all that kind of thing. So you have to put a language to that. And that's not always easy to make that accessible to everyone. But I know that we do that for people that are open for this, that are, I don't want to use the name mature, but are in the same area of extension that we are now. And many are now. They have woken up, and many of us is already in the fifth dimension, not with our mind, but with our soul, and some of us even with our bodies. And I happen to know that you and me working on several councils together. I met you in ninth dimension council of light. Yeah, we did.
You haven't told me about that.
No, we haven't talked about that. but that comes as a surprise. And there are many other of my friends, soul friends and others that are working. And I do a lot of work when I'm asleep. And I guess you are too.
Yeah, and that just when you bring that up, it's just giving you the bigger understanding how to do your work. Because when I'm doing energy work, I'm doing so much. I'm working as a coach, or it's very hard to put a title on myself because I'm me, and what I'm doing is unique for me. But I'm working because we're shifting in timelines, and we're shifting in dimension all the time.
Yes.
And right now, as I understand it, most of the collective are actually in the fourth dimension.
Yeah.
But it's the lower density still that is going on in the third. So it's like third, fourth, fifth. It's a density that you're just going in and out of it.
Yeah.
It depends how high your vibration is and your frequency. So by coming closer to a fifth dimensional density of living, then it's easier to manifest, and things comes to you, because the time frame or the time and space is more vivid in that space of being. But I'm working multidimensionally. I can't even say I'm it's so hard to because whatever comes through comes through. So
Yeah.
putting layers on it or levels, it's very hard to put levels, because if you are just experiencing a consciousness,
Yeah.
then
And
it's the consciousness that's coming through.
Yeah, and you what you're coming through is what you're working with for the moment. So you use that in
Yes.
your daily work. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so old now, so I have learned many ways to control what is coming through. And I can also do this in a very conscious way. I can connect to another frequency, another dimension as soon as I want to. But I
If
have
there's
done.
anything you want to share, then please go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. The one thing was this about being a light worker, but I'm thinking of doing a separate video of that.
Yeah.
I also have to apologize for sounding a little bit strange, but I have a terrible cold. I want to put that out there. But I got help from my healers to get rid of my headache, and now they're working on. I feel a buzz in my head, so I know they're working on me now. So
Yeah.
it will be okay. Yeah. No, I want to make this your your moment, because I'm interested in, and many others are certainly interested in what you're doing, and I think it's meant for you and me, and together with others, to work in the future also.
Yes, and all these just talking about different subjects. It can be very good to choose a subject and then just talk with with me or someone else. I mean, I would love to do different topics, because things can, like you're saying, it's coming through and it just starts to flow, and it is the flow, the magic of the flow that you're actually having, because everything comes from the inside.
Exactly.
What you experience comes from the inside, and it's time for us to learn that it's not the outside that teach us whatever, because we don't lack anything. We just need to find out and remember that we are whole already, that we already are complete inside. So it's the revealing of ourselves. Like when we're healing, we're actually just revealing by taking the layers off and putting down the walls that we have closed around our heart by living in third dimensional density, having these experiences as we've had, and everything has been meant for it to all to happen, and we have chosen this on many higher levels.
Yeah, but I also want to add to this that there have been energies that are trying to hold back this ascension for a long time also, but as I know from 2012, it was not possible for them to hinder the whale to come off to us to understand what is happening. But the way they used to do this is through putting people in fear, or that is the main thing. They put people in fear. They say, stay inside. We, the government, or we, the ever society, this will take care of you, and everything will be coming from the outside. And that is totally different, the truth. Everything we still have inside. We need to connect our physical mind with our soul again. Because
that is all this fear and this fear mongering and all these things. It's for us to, what comes through right now. It's for us to remember that who we are. It's a wake-up call. So
it is.
whatever is going on around the world, and that is also a choosing. So right now we're integrating both our the balancing of the yin and yang, the dark and the light. So it's like the divine light, divine dark.
Yes.
Coming together, because we are polarity, we are our universe, but we are the whole universe is like shifting. It's already happened, but where it's integrating into the physical, and to understand that everything we have been through, everything that we are going through at this precise moment are supposed to happen. It's divine timing for everything, and it's the collective that decide. And everything is divine, and we have to realize that the dark side of ourselves, the shadow side or the dark side, and the light side, is all love. It can't exist if we don't have love. So it's like combining them together and accepting who you are for who you are. And it's also the, you know, the feminine and the masculine coming together, the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine within ourselves.
Of course.
Like finding that harmonious balance, but also the outside. So it's like, as I find so beautiful in our world and experience, is we are whatever we see, you know. But also the earth,
and what we think is also very
absolutely
important.
yes. But the earth in herself, we have the same material, the same cell, we have the same amount of water in our bodies as she has. We have the chakra systems or the energy centers. We have all these vortexes. We have the grids inside of ourselves, the meridian lines. She has the same thing. The core, she has the heart, she has the I mean, we're so connected, and all the stars, is everything is aligned and are talking to each other. And this is what's been going on with me for the last 2 years, you know, my journey ever since I was a child, basically, but since the intensity, but by opening up myself, learning to hear, understand the elements of our planet, and hearing frequencies and understanding those types of things. So I integrate those as well in my work, but it's basically in my everyday. So
you're living as a light worker, you're living in it and of it every day. I also want to say to people that what you're talking about, the earth, Mother Gaia, it's very important. And I say this over and over again. Mother Earth is also extending into another reality. If we take care of us there, it's going to be different. I have seen the places, and if you just seen it, you could just lose what you're holding on to, because it's wonderful. It's not that you're in some kind of bliss or some religious state. It's more that you feel the love floating through everything. So it's very important to connect back to Mother Earth. And that's so easy. Just go out in the forest, sit down and be quiet, and listen to your inner voice, to your intuition, that someone says, or just
the gut feeling.
Because it's coming to, it's then when you shut out all of the brain chattering going on, it's when the soul can connect to your mind, so you really can hear it, feel it, and understand it. So that is very important, to connect back to that reality again. And we have been there, but we lost it for many, many years.
Yeah, and now we have integrated, with all this integration and merging going on, all the aspects of ourselves. Like when we are descending now, or ascending, the karma that we have had, the cosmic, because karma is cosmic. It's not about, it's about frequency, but karma is everywhere. So,
and it's nothing about judgment or anything like that. It's just it was just meant as a tool for us to develop.
Exactly. And now we're just merging all our different aspects of ourselves, coming together as one. Even our cosmic versions or aspects of ourselves coming together. Our oversoul, higher self, also coming into our body. So spirit into matter. So physical, spiritual into physical. So it's integrating everything into one, because we are one. And with that, you will feel these, I mean, just by knowing
the free energy flow, you feel in a total different way, and you are not able to hate.
And an unconditional love. Even in the collective.
And you're not even able to feel hate to anyone, even if they can be an asshole. You just can tell them, I love you anyway, because it doesn't matter for your life if people trying to put their fears or their feelings on you. You have to understand that something that I say sometimes that really is important, we have to remember that we have forgot. And if we do that, it's much more easier to connect back to that original soul energy flow that floating to every living in the whole of universe, in all of the universes, in different way. So yes, that's very important. And I love the way you put your. You're a really energetic person. I can see that, and I see your aura, and it's shining. And when you're talking about your work, I see you all connected directly. So that's good. Yeah. So for you, it also started really early in your life, as for many of us. I started 48 years ago with my work. So I'm not that young anymore, or not least that my body is not young. My soul is forever young. And but I learned a lot, and I think you're waking up now because you're still young. And I want to say that the people that are manifesting now is coming in with a totally different understanding of what this is. They are not coming in with that memory loss in the same way. You can see that there are many more children that are classified in with different labels, H, D, D, or all of the alphabet almost, and that is not a shortcoming. It's a blessing for them, because. But as parents, you need to understand that you have to shelter them, because they can't do that themselves. They are so open to this energy flow. So you're not just shelter them as taking care of them in the way that they not will fall over and hurt themselves. Of course, that's a thing. But you also have to shelter them from bad influence from the outside, like a bad school system, a military system, a government that don't care about the people, and all that thing. You have to care for them. And
But we also have to understand also that we have chosen this.
Sure.
It's an experience.
Yes.
So by when people opening up more and understand and see themselves for who they are, and then the respect and the compassion and the gratefulness for others and love and respect will come.
Yeah.
And also, when you know that once you die, you don't die, you actually go somewhere else.
Yeah.
This is just an experience.
Yes.
We are just a vessel in a body and choosing a life to live,
Yes.
like a manuscript that for our soul, it's like a soul experience. We're having a soul experience in a physical vessel, a physical body.
Yeah.
And when more people start to understand and start to remember how the experience is built up, and that you have chosen this for yourself, there's no reason to be afraid of getting older, getting changing, living and other things. And then piece by piece things will calm down and be more harmonious once you understand how life really truly are, and how wonderful and amazing you are as well. Because being as we have lived as a person looking outside ourselves, we have forgotten how it is to truly live from our hearts.
Yes.
But that is also have been part of the game, the show, the experience, the theater act, whatever you want to call it. But it's still our lives, and we have to. And I feel just by putting like wars and differences aside, it's because everything is polarized. War, peace, different government, parties. You choosing different banks that have different views. Everything. There's always a plus or a minus. There's always different sides, so you can always choose.
Yes.
And that if you put it in a positive content, then it's actually been a great experience. But of course, I know that I've been killed, I've been punished, I've been burned as a witch, I've been all these things in past lives. Whatever we have chosen to become humble, because once you have gone through all these both positive things and tragic lifetimes, you have put them together, because everything comes from the soul memory. So
and
that's what makes you compassionate and sensitive and emotional, and can feel other people and understand other people's situations.
And now when you're waking up, you're so much faster than ever before can analyze what is really happening. It's not so easy for the system to interfere. I used to say our brain is a computer that playing this contract with us, but we have lost the contact. We have been subject for some computer viruses from outside, and that's a fact that governments and black ops and so have been in altering with ourselves, so we forgot how to connect to this source energy. But that has been an experience